Hello, my beautiful peeps. Hi, little Chloe and Claire and Lexi, Caleb. Hi, precious Kylie and Jake and Eli. Hi, Jenna and Emily. Hello. All right, we're still studying Abraham and how courageous he is. And today he's courageous again. In chapter 18, he is courageous. He is going to intercede and ask God to intercede for his nephew Lot. So let's read and see what happens. Genesis 18, verse 16. So the men got up from their meal. They remember that he just fixed them a meal, and he found out they're going to have a baby by that time next year, really soon, and looked out towards Sodom. And as they left, Abraham went with them to send them on their way. And the Lord asked, "Should I hide my plan from Abraham? For Abraham will certainly become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth will be blessed through him. I have singled him out so that he will direct his sons and their families to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is right." This is what we want to do, and when you grow up and your mommies and daddies, you want to teach your sons and daughters how to do what is right and keep the way of the Lord. Right and just, it says. "Then I will do for Abraham all that I have promised." In verse 20, so the Lord told Abraham, "I have heard a great outcry from Sodom and Gomorrah because their sin is so flagrant." That means they didn't care, that they were evil. "I am going down to see if their actions are as wicked as I have heard. If not, I want to know." The other men turned and headed towards Sodom, but the Lord remained with Abraham. Abraham approached him and said, "Will you sweep away both the righteous and the wicked? Suppose you find 50 righteous people living there in the city. Will you still sweep it away and not spare it for their sakes? Surely you wouldn't do such a thing, destroying the righteous along with the wicked. Why, you would be treating the righteous and the wicked exactly the same. Surely you wouldn't do that. Should not the judge of all the earth do what is right?" And the Lord replied, "If I find 50 righteous people in Sodom, I will spare the entire city for their sake." Then Abraham spoke again. Abraham was courageous, wasn't he, to ask God questions. "Since I have begun, let me speak further to my Lord, even though I am but dust and ashes." Remember, Adam was made out of the dust of the earth, and God breathed into him, and he became a living being. "Suppose there are only 45 righteous people, rather than 50. Will you destroy the whole city for lack of 5? And the Lord said, "I will not destroy it if I find 45 righteous people there." Then Abraham pressed his request further. "Suppose there are only 40. Please don't be angry with me, my Lord." Abraham pleaded, "Let me speak. Suppose only 30 righteous people are found." And the Lord replied, "I will not destroy it if I find 30. Then Abraham said, "Since I have dared to speak to the Lord, let me continue. Suppose there are only 20. Finally Abraham said, "Lord, please don't be angry with me if I speak one more time. Suppose only 10 are found." And the Lord replied, "Then I will not destroy it for the sake of the 10. When the Lord had finished his conversation with Abraham, he went on his way, and Abraham returned to his tent. Now here's a very interesting thing to think about. Did the Lord ever say that he was going to destroy it if he couldn't find a certain number of people? No. But Abraham knew himself that Sodom was a very wicked, wicked city. But he also knew that his nephew Lot lived there, so he didn't want anything bad to happen to his nephew. So he prayed. You know, that's what prayer is. You talk to God. He got to talk face to face. But when we talk to God, it's the same. We're interceding. We're praying to God. And Abraham just shared his heart. He didn't want to see anything happen to Lot. But guess what? Was he really talking God out of destroying Sodom and Gomorrah? No. Did God want to destroy Sodom? No, he did not. No. So what was happening was Abraham was learning what God's heart was. God is righteous and just more than we could ever be. So he already knew he wasn't going to destroy Sodom if there were at least 10 people there. But what was happening was Abraham, getting to know God more and more, was understanding what God's heart is. A God of love, but yet he is a God of justice and righteousness as well, and cannot allow wickedness to go on. That's why he sent his son Jesus, right? But this is in the Old Testament. So I find it very interesting that Abraham started at 50 and he went all the way down to 10. Do you think he'll find 10 righteous people in Sodom and not destroy it? You'll have to wait till tomorrow to see. Okay, I love you guys. I hope you know that you can always talk to God, just like Abraham did, and ask him questions. And listen, he will answer either through the Bible or he'll tell you things. You'll have an impression on your heart. And even through your mommy and daddy if you ask them questions about that you have too. But you can learn to listen to God. You're never too young to listen to God. Okay, I love you guys. Have an awesome day. Bye.